Cowboy Bebop's live action is shit. How dare they? If you are looking for this, you are at the wrong place, buddy. Whenever the news comes out, there is going to be a live action adaptation of an anime. Every anime fan is raging, biting his nails, while shitting and pissing at the same time. So, when the news broke out, Cowboy Bebop, the gospel of anime fans, is getting a Netflix adaptation, we collectively said, don't give me hope. But when I saw the teaser, I said, this is really good. Secretly hoping that this trailer is not a bait and switch. And when Netflix released the adaptation, first thing I did was leave everything and check it out to find out whether it is good or an absolute pile of garbage and there is no hope for live action adaptation in the future. Well, it's not bad, but it's not that good either. For fuck's sake, how do YouTubers do this shit? Cowboy Bebop's live action follows the same path as the original, but not the story. To put it in a nutshell, we are following different timeline of the same characters, but they have things which are a bit different in their life. For example, Jet and Spike have the same relationship as the original, but in this one, Spike has not told Jet that he was an ex-member of the syndicate. Netflix's Cowboy Bebop adds and subtracts some things about the characters which make complete sense and are not that out of character. Like Jet being an ex-husband and having a daughter just clicks. You can tell Jet is the kind of dude who acts uptight, but if he has few drinks in, is the most fun person to hang around. Or when you get wasted in a bar, he will carry you home and babysit you till you fall asleep or just throw up. And if original Cowboy Bebop said he was a dad, that would have made complete sense to me. What Netflix's Cowboy Bebop does is not pretend that these are completely new characters or this is a Netflix original, but instead acknowledges that this is the adaptation of one of the most popular animated shows. I mean, Samuel Jackson gave it a shout out. If that does not count mainstream popular, I don't know what does. If Samuel Jackson says I'm dumb man. I mean, it's Samuel Jackson. You can't do anything. Before this turns into Samuel Jackson circle jerk, I will move on. The show considers that you have probably seen the original Cowboy Bebop, but at the same time fills in the gaps for the new viewers and pushes them to go back and watch the original one, while also trying to carve out its new identity, and even though they tried their hardest, they fucking failed. The problem is not with the actors of Spike, Jet and Faye. I think they did a pretty good job, and there were some moments in the story where I was genuinely interested. The Vicious and Spike plot, which was 5 episodes in the original, is the main storyline of this. We follow both sides, obviously of Spike and Vicious. How is Vicious planning coup against elders? Or what type of relationship is between Julia and him? The original Cowboy Bebop showed it in snippets, through dreams and memory flashback of Spike, and that was kind of the point of it. But here, we get the full backstory, from detail to detail, from where Vicious comes from to what is his motivation and why is he doing it. And spoiler alert, he's bad. Not the bad we love, like these guys, but the bad which stinks like ass. To put it in a gamer analogy, he's a toxic gamer who just baits their teammates and then is last to survive. And when he dies, he shouts, "Why are you all dead?" That is what the main problem is. The writing is not that good. The character dialogues are tongue-in-cheek. On the first look, it is pretty good. That kind of gives off Cowboy Bebop-ish vibes. But then later on, it just gets too cheesy, which gives us shit like this.
You a good guy or a bad guy, Spiegel?
Like, come on. I know you're trying to get the same vibes, but it is like French kiss gone wrong because snot came out or something. On the topic of snot, god did I found Julia and Vicious annoying. I know, I already talked about Vicious, and even though I was not a hardcore fan of the original one, but the one thing I really liked was, even though we got a limited time with Julia and Vicious on the screen, they made an everlasting impression on us. I mean, if you want to play devil's advocate and argue that they had limited time, so we only got the good sides, but if Watanabe wanted it, I believe he could have gave more of them and we still would have felt the same thing. I guess this comes down to live action finding the balance to adapt but not trying to stray off too much, which they did not, and I'm really glad for that. But if you try to stay too faithful, it kind of ruins it, which they found a pretty good balance at some moments but failed in the others. It was like 60% of, okay, this is cool, not bad, then you get 40% of strong cringe. And I am not talking about the cringe which is cute. I am talking cringe like this.
Fight Stigo! You're Spike! Cowboy! Bounty hunter for hire!
Okay, in their defense, he comes in at the last 5 minutes. He's not in the first season. Yes, we are going to get another one. Okay, now the things I liked about. I really liked the lighting and the set. I don't care what anyone says. It really felt like where space cowboys would fuck around, or this would be it if World of Cowboy Bebop existed. And when you pair it up with Yoko Kanno's music, it is good. Really good. Actually, I'm so glad that they brought Yoko Kanno on board for this. I mean, without her, Cowboy Bebop is no Cowboy Bebop. You get it? Okay, this is not related, but I watched her interview where she refers herself as composer, sonic genius, anime legend, and did the whole thing in the dark, which I found really funny and cool at the same time. Even after all of this, I enjoyed Netflix's Cowboy Bebop. If you're here looking for the same anime-ish vibes, you're not going to get it, because majority of it does not transfer well in the live action. On the surface, it feels like Cowboy Bebop is perfect for Netflix adaptation, but really, it is not. If you want to watch it, think of it as you're watching a shitty rom-com action Bollywood or Tollywood movie. I often watch them, and you just have to keep your mind aside and watch it. Here, let me show you one of the clips. Do not go in thinking you are watching page for page or word for word adaptation of Cowboy Bebop, because it is not, and I do not even want that. They tried to adapt and succeeded to some extent, but the failure kind of outweighed their achievements. Lastly, I want to say, live action are going to stay here, for better or worse. Anime is a growing market, now more than ever, and people want to monetize it. And I feel Cowboy Bebop took a step in a good direction. It is not a massive or industry changing, but they are getting good. And Cowboy Bebop made it in somewhat okay section because it is not too anime. But even after all of this, I don't know how the fuck are they going to do One Piece. To sum it up, I enjoyed Netflix's Cowboy Bebop, and if you want to watch it, give the first 2 episodes a try. If you still did not vibe with it, drop it. No one is forcing you. If you liked the video, like it. If you hated it,